welcome to another video. I put up an article today about the floor press, and I hope the air conditioning is not too loud. By the way, it is really fucking hot, as you can imagine. It's Greece in the summer, and I turned it down to where hopefully you guys can hear me, and hopefully I don't die, because I'm fat and it's hot and it's a really bad combo. You know, 295 pounds, and guessing it must be about 38 today. I mean, I've experienced hotter days lately, but which means it's probably above 100 Fahrenheit for you American friends. Don't use Celsius. Anyway, fix the mirrors here. We're ready to go. So, floor press. I put up the article about 2 hours ago. It's Sunday today, so you'll probably see this video in a couple of days. The floor press is an exercise that I came to love because it's an exercise that just breaks down, if you pause, breaks it down into two movements. I really see it as a upper body box squat. I just view it that way. Eccentric, concentric the way down, concentric phase the way up as you press up. I like to pause, mix it difficult, makes it harder, and almost crashing the car here with that fucker. And I think it builds more muscle tension for sure. As you're pausing down, you're holding, because I'm holding the tension, not relaxing. I hope it's not too bright. Hope you guys can see something. And I like to mix it up with dumbbell floor press. Kettlebell floor press is also tough. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it requires more wrist stabilization, provided that you keep the kettlebell on the outside, obviously. So that's tough as well. If you have like shoulder instabilities, or if you've had rehabbing injuries, shoulder, scapula, even elbow injuries, and you can obviously train, because I wouldn't have you train injured, you can try the kettlebell floor presses as a warm-up, and then you can move on to your heavy presses with a barbell, a fat bar, or dumbbells. That's also cool. Now, what the floor press can do is it keeps the stress, keeps the weight on the triceps. And that is for people who have problems locking it out towards the upper portion of the lift, such as myself. I know it works very well for equipped lifters. I'm not an equipped lifter, but I mean, I have a problem at the top, my triceps, and I guess who doesn't? I haven't seen that many people having trouble at the bottom end of the lift, where the chest is mostly loaded, and that would happen usually to newbies who are just not developed yet, and it will also happen to people who have loaded too much weight on the bar. So if you load the bar excessively, you're gonna fail at the bottom of the lift. You're never gonna get a chance to press it even just slightly. So I mean, that's, you know, provided that you're not a fucking idiot, it's usually the triceps that fail to lock out, and that costs you a PR. I like to rotate it. I want to say I like to do it every month, once per month, sometimes once per 6 weeks, and rotate the intensity. The intensity usually stays at 70-75% and above. You know, triple sets of 5 at most. Sometimes I'll do sets of 8, but rarely, for which I'm going to stick to about 60-65% for building tricep strength. Sorry, the phone died, so I had to connect the charger. There's not a lot of lat involvement. There's not that much chest involvement and shoulders. Of course, the bench press, the flat bench, uses primarily the front deltoids, but obviously, since the arm kind of stays parallel to the floor, since you stop at the floor, there's not that much involvement from chest, shoulders, or lats. It's mostly arms. It's mostly triceps. And that's great, because you need triceps to lug out, whether you're equipped, whether you're raw, whatever the fuck you're doing. You're using soft equipment, slingshots, bench bands, anything. You need triceps to finish the lift. Other exercises I can think of are, I guess you can mix it up with, like I said, dumbbells. Fat bar is my personal favorite floor press variation is a fat bar or axle bar floor press. It just feels amazing. I don't know what it is. It just, I cannot explain it. It's personal taste. It's not really that scientific. I just think that I can press the most weight with a fat bar and from the floor. It just feels that way. I cannot really explain why. I really like to press thumbless or suicide grip. I just enjoy it. I also feel like, because since you're wrapping the thumb around the bar, there is some bicep involved. Not immense, but if you have like elbow pain or elbow/bicep tendonitis, which I have suffered from for many years, it just seems like I can press up without much pain in my forearm. So that's good. Sorry, the road is a shit. It's full of holes. So fat bar, kettlebell, like I said, you can do dumbbells. You can do bands and chains. The bands, if you're a beginner, I mean, it gets tough. It gets pretty tough. So if you're using like double looped, I mean, if you're using the bigger bands, you have to be an animal. You have to be pressing a lot of weight. I like to keep my accommodating resistance bands and chains at around 20, 25, maybe 30%. If I am, I usually do that for my speed work, but I like to do my heavy sets or maximal sets with that kind of resistance as well. Like if I'm on my own and I'm benching, say, I don't know, 300 pounds plus 60, 80 pounds of resistance. I mean, I'm on my own. Like who's gonna spot me for that? Somebody has to deadlift that from the floor. So I'll try to, actually it is, it's 60 to 80 pounds. I'm just doing the calculation in my head. So like you gotta be smart. 20, 25, 30% max of the weight that you're trying, the total weight that you're trying to load. And chains are obviously friendlier in quotes. Chains they might swing. I mean, unless you're benching like a fucking moron. If you're careful and you stay a couple of seconds before you go down, although there's no padding, you don't really need to pause for that long. But the chains will oscillate. They will swing back and forth. So I mean, of course, it depends how many chains you're using and stuff, right? But they're just easier on the body. I've never been fucked up by chains. I've been fucked up by bands. I can tell you that. So maybe single looped mini bands from the floor in a power cage. Maybe double looped if you can bench a decent amount of weight. Aside from that, it's an amazing exercise. A little history, just for a few seconds. Georg Hackenschmidt was, if I'm not mistaken, the first man in history to actually think that I should press this above my chest, not overhead, because the thing back then there was no not in the terms of today, powerlifting, bodybuilding, people were pressing stuff overhead. That was the strength, the primal strength test was overhead presses. So the dude was like, I need to develop my chest. I think it was from a wrestling injury. I can't remember. I've read one of his books. I own one of his books. I should get a few more. But so the dude decided to start pressing from the floor, and I mean, he had a fucking 160 or 165 kg floor press fucking 120 years ago. This was like probably 1905, 1903. So that is 120 years ago, which is fucking insane. Hackenschmidt was in a league of his own, and he's absolutely one of my strength heroes. I admire that man immensely. So anyway, there's many reasons why you should floor press. I'm not saying you should only floor press, because when the time comes for you to do a full range of motion, you will be screwed. So mix it up with some dumbbell full range, obviously. Mix it up with some regular bench, decline, incline, which increases the range of motion, and you're ready to go. I haven't checked how long that video's been, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of shit that's happening, and work and training. It's just, I mean, I've been writing a few programs as well. I'm writing the second Conjugate Iron book. I'm working on that. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not rushing to release it though. It'll be out next year. No pressure. And I also got the new sponsorship through Monster Power, the Polish company. So if you check the link tree, all the links are in there. I'm sorry, the description. You will find the link tree. It will direct you to the store, and you can use code Terry10. That code is going to give you 10% on the products. I got the bench band that I got recently, that blue one, that feels great, and I'm about to grab the strongest one they have, which is most likely I'm gonna get buried under, I don't know, 500 pounds, 550. We'll see. I don't know how far it takes me. I don't like to talk big. If I can bench 440, 450 relatively easily, that'll be nice. But I digress as always, because I love talking strength. That's pretty much it. Subscribe to the channel. I think 8 or 10% of my viewers are subscribed, so 92% of you are not subscribed and or new, which is cool because, you know, welcome to Conjugate Iron. At the same time, if you can subscribe, that was a cops. That would be cool. So it will help the channel grow, so we can provide you with better and more content. And I'm out.